Hello, my dear friends. This is Rabbi Aharon Dobinsky coming to you today from the holy city of Jerusalem, Israel. Beautiful, sunny summer day here. I want to dedicate this particular shiur to some friends of mine out in California, USA, Chasya Aviela and Yirmiyahu, for all that they do, and also, yes, for all that they try to do, which is equally important. As we know, as we go through the book that we're going through right now, the book of Deuteronomy, it's a recap, and it better said than anything else about what happened previously in the previous four books. And doesn't paint a very good picture of what kind of people we are. And Moshe Rabbeinu had to break the Ten Commandments, had to go back, had to fast for 40 more days and 40 more nights. After he'd already done this once, come down and sees the people dancing around the golden calf, as if he wasn't doing any of these things. The problem is that we don't have the right attitude sometimes. We fetch about coming out of Egypt. It's too hot. It's sand. How will we eat? What are we going to do? We finally get answers for water with the well of Miriam. So we got water, so that complaint goes away. Hopefully, at least for a while. Later on, to be continued, you'll find out it comes up again. But for right now, it goes away. We didn't have food. What are we going to eat? It's a desert. There's scorpions. There's snakes. There's no food out here. How do you take us to a place out here like this? Couldn't you just leave us in Egypt? What, are there no graves in Egypt that you had to bring us out to the middle of the desert so we could die out here? We were very, very bad. We made a lot of very, very bad comments. And because of that, Hashem looked down on us and wondered, did he have the right people? He actually offered at one point to Moshe Rabbeinu to say, look, let's get rid of these people. They don't get the idea. They don't have the idea. They have a slave mentality. Will that ever go away? I don't think so. So maybe what I'll do is take care of them, and I'll make a whole new people out of you. They'll be your family, and it'll go on just the same way as it was originally built by Abraham and his family. And Moshe pleaded and begged that we do not get rid of the Jewish people because they were bad. Because you know the thing is, when you're bad, you can always improve. You can make a turnaround. You can do, what's the word we use? Teshuvah. You can do teshuvah. All of us can do teshuvah. I do it every day. Hopefully you do as well. People used to say to me, are you about teshuvah, which means a master of teshuvah? And I would say, no, I'm not. They said, yeah, I didn't know you were born into a frum family. I said, I wasn't. Well, how did you get to be very religious then? I said, I'm a hoser. What's a hoser for teshuvah? Someone who returns to teshuvah. Well, how can you return if you've never been that way? My friends, we know the answer to this question. We have lifetimes before this, and we have the ability to always change, no matter what we've done, to have a better life, to have a more observant life. So let's go on. So what else is going on? So we get to the Dead Sea, and here we look, and here's Pharaoh coming behind us. And in front of us is a sea. It looks like we're pretty much boxed in. And remember, there's over 3 million of us have to cross this sea. So what does Hashem do? He splits the sea. Something heretofore never seen, but he does it. And we walk through, as it says in the Torah, dry shod, which means we weren't walking through 6 feet of mud to get to the other side. That's an amazing miracle. Something we couldn't do, but he can do that. So we get to the other side, and when the Egyptians finally come, they chase us in because now the cloud of glory has been moved out of the way and they can see where we are. They come after us. They go into the sea closes, kills them all. That's the story. That's the story. Wow, is this great or is this great? We don't have food. So what does Hashem do? He rains down food on us called manna. What does manna taste like? Well, I say it looked a lot like coriander seed, but it tasted like, are you ready? Anything you want. Anything. You want it to taste like steak? It tastes like steak. You want it to taste like fries? It tastes like fries. You want it to taste like whatever, that's what it will taste like. But that wasn't good enough either, because we went a little bit further and we started complaining. We never get meat. How come we never get meat? We never get meat and vegetables. You know, when we were in Egypt, they gave us meat and vegetables. Well, sure they did, because people who are slaves and who are working building pyramids You need that nutrition to be able to get up in the morning and go do the work you need to do because it's backbreaking and you need the energy inside of you. Yeah, sure you got it there, but you got it on a condition. The condition was you had to get up and work every day like a slave, literally. So finally Hashem says, fine, I'll take care of that. And the quail come. And it says that we ate until the meat was literally coming out of our noses. It was so much. It was ridiculous. We couldn't stand it anymore. We needed to get away from it. It was so much. And we go further on. We go further on. We get to a place where we're finally going to start battling to take the land that's ours. And what happens? Hashem says, go get him. And we say, no, we're not ready yet. So what happens? We have another plague. We have another plague. We had another plague because of the golden calf. It says that Moshe Rabbeinu took the calf and ground it up into small pieces, put it in the water, and made everyone drink it. So we would know that we were now tasting the bitterness of what we had done. All these things are designed to get us to a place. Remember, everything, let's go back to basics, everything comes from Hashem. And all has a purpose, and that purpose is always, not sometimes, not most of the time, not 99 times out of 100. It's always for our absolute ultimate best, even if we don't see it at the moment. If we can remember this, we could live different lives. I don't want to keep going on with you again. Miriam passed away. There was no water. People again start crying about water. We're crying, where's the water? We can't live without water. Moses is told to go and talk to a rock and it will bring forth the water. Okay, sounds pretty easy, doesn't it? And if there was only one rock there, piece of cake, nothing to it. But there was a wall of rocks out there. Which is the rock? Who knows which is the rock? So rather than do that, Moshe thinks he knows which one it is and taps it. And nothing happens. A little trickle comes out, so he figures, aha, I found the rock. And he hits it. And the water comes gushing out, and the people now have water. Great for the people. Bad for Moshe Rabbeinu. This was the reason why he was not allowed, after 40 years of putting up with our constant complaints, he was not allowed to enter the land that was promised to us and to our children. Doesn't sound fair, does it? However, there's a phrase that says basically, to whom much is given, much is expected. And Moshe had everything. He spoke face to face with God, not face to face literally, but the idea was he spoke to God, God spoke to him. Doesn't happen for a lot of us. I don't know about you. Have you tried it? I've tried it several times. I speak to him, I wait for my answer. Sometimes I get something. It's just something in my ear that says maybe I should do this or maybe I should do that. Do I know it's from God? Not always. So I have to take my judgment now, and that's only human. And I have to decide, is this what it is or is this what it isn't? And I go from there. So after this whole slew of all that we have done, all that we have accomplished, all the complaining, all the schreing, all the kvetching that we did, does Hashem turn us loose? No, he does not turn us loose. He tells us he still loves us, he still wants us to be close to him, and even tells us what is required to be close to him. Let me read this to you because I don't want to get any of it wrong. And now, Israel, what does Hashem your God ask of you? But to fear Hashem your God, to go in all his ways, not some of his ways, all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Hashem your God with all your heart, with all your soul, to keep the commandments of Hashem and his statutes, which I command you today for your benefit. What is it telling us? What is it telling us? For our benefit. Why is it for our benefit? Let me tell you why it's for our benefit. Because it teaches us to live a different type of life than what we may be living now. Some of us are probably into this point, some of us are closer than others are, but some are still far away. It teaches us to live a life with an attitude of gratitude. That's why when we get up in the morning, the first thing we say, before our feet even hit the floor, Modeh ani fanecha, I thank you. I give thanks before you. Not to give thanks to me. I give thanks before you, to Hashem. We don't even mention his name because we're not clean yet. So we don't say to Hashem, but that is, of course, the implication. That's an attitude of gratitude. If you go through our prayers, even in the Amidah, When we'd say the Amidah, and the Chazan repeats everything that we've said, the only thing that we say out loud is the Kedusha, which is proclaiming the holiness of Hashem, and the Modani Lefanecha. The Modim Anachnu Lach. Again, saying thank you. What do you have to say thank you for? Well, for one thing, you woke up this morning. We say thank you for that. For another thing, you can see when you got up this morning. You thank you for that. We can smell, we can taste, we can hear. Say thank you for that. We can get our feet out of bed, get up, stand up for most of us, and walk. The list goes on. I don't have to go on. You get the idea. Everything we do is because it's something that He allows us to do, and He makes happen. So that attitude of gratitude is what keeps us going, what keeps us closer connected to Hashem. Because even after all that we've done, after all the insults we threw His way, the way of Moshe Rabbeinu, He still calls us back. Why? Because He's our Father. And if you who are parents out there will certainly understand this. No matter what your children do, no matter what they say, no matter how many mistakes they make, no matter how bad they are to you sometimes, and sometimes you know it can be really hard, we still love them because they're our children. We still want them close to us. Where do we get this? We get it from Hashem. He made us in His image. So we get these qualities from Hashem as well. So let's remember this on a daily basis, my friends. Let's remember who is responsible for everything we have, for all the welfare we have, and everything that we do. So whatever we can do to please Hashem, that's what's expected of us. We're expected to love Him like we would love our own Father, personal Father. But this is our Father in heaven. These are the things that bring us closer to Him, help us to exist, help us to thrive. So, my friends, as we get within about a month of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, let's remember this. Let's change the way we live. Let's all become Choseh B'Teshuvah. Let's all return to Teshuvah. And remember who's responsible for all that we have. And be grateful and be thankful. Be well, my friends. Have a very good week. Chodesh Tov, Shabbat Shalom. God bless you all. All the best.